This is Yuvin. He's the best Tableturf player in the world.
My name is Jovin. I am the best Tableturf player in the world.
And we played a match of Tableturf against each other. I did not win that match. How does he have so many points already? Afterward, we talked through the game and VOD reviewed it so I could learn more about how he sees the game and pass that knowledge on to you through your ears and eyeballs. This video is about one of the lessons I learned playing Squid card game with someone way, way, way better than me.
How I see it, space is the most important resource in this game. Because if you don't have space, you can't place down cards and just lose 2 points.
Something you'd immediately notice just by looking at my deck and Yuvin's deck was that Yuvin has much bigger cards than I do. My deck was 145 blocks, while Yuvin's had 177. He ran Big Man, Shiver, and Fry, all of Deep Cut, in the same deck, and that's together with Captain, a 16 block card, and a lot of cards with 12 or 13 blocks each. A lot of players might get worried with that kind of a deck that they'd run out of space to play such huge cards, but Yuvin has a few ways around it. Firstly, he's the best Tableturf player in the world. If there's an opportunity to get one of those cards in, he's been playing long enough that he has an eye for it and is spotting the opportunity multiple turns in advance. Look here at how, before he's even made it up the left side of the board, he's already spotting a way he can play Fry around my base. But more to the point, what he's done is go into the test placement screen here on different maps and messed around with different combinations of large pieces to get special points and effectively cover blocks without creating waste or boxing himself out. Having planned out what he wants to do in his own base, he can make some really big cards fit together like Legos, and all he needs to do to pretty reliably get those combos to work is to maintain control of the space he needs to place them down. Possibly the best move I made in this entire game was on my second turn, where I move right up to his side of the stage. This move interrupted a combo he was trying to set up.
If you hadn't interrupted this spot, I could have played my own Power Clam and Steel Eel in this left side.
Okay.
And still fit the jelly combo under
Wow.
it.
So what I'm seeing is this game could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Forcing him to improvise a lot more with how he fit his big pieces in. But I followed up this aggressive, disruptive play with a move that took no additional space on the board and only gave me special points. Because of how much of the board I ended up sacrificing placing this small fry here, he took a big lead that never went away for the rest of the game. Sure, it gave me 2 special points, but I could have grabbed those special points later in the game when that was the only card that would fit anyway. In the meantime, so many big cards were getting played that by the time my own bigger cards came up, I had nowhere to put them, and I ended up having to pass on one of my turns despite having a deck of much smaller cards. 3 points on one turn, 0 on another, and meanwhile, on those 2 respective turns, Yuvin put down a card worth 17 and a special attack that gave him 11 and took away 10 from me. There's no way of playing cards in the game that makes 2 special points worth that 35-point swing. The kicker here is that I never actually ended up using those special points. On my last turn, I had 7 special points, and the highest cost card I could play with them cost 5. Part of that comes down to my own poor planning, being too afraid to use special points earlier in the game when they might have broken me out and given me more options. But at the end of the day, because I prioritized the special points over gaining space on that turn, it was all downhill from there. The game got further and further away from me as my whole base was occupied by big cards that took away any opportunity I had to drop my heaviest hitting cards in. This aspect of Tableturf is actually really similar to the shooter game modes, where the team that controls the most space is at an advantage in fights, able to play the objective, and has a stronger defense. Zoning, or spacing, is a concept I talk about at some length in the How to Get Out of A Rank video, and has long been a part of my theoretical framework for how to play the game. It's just a really universal concept, applying in anything from soccer to chess to military strategy, and thanks to Yuvin, I got to learn about it all over again in Tableturf. There was a lot more that we talked about in our session, so let me know if you want to see it and I can dig into the footage for more. I may put the whole VOD on the channel at some point, though that'll take some time given how much editing it'll require. If you're interested in learning more about Tableturf or getting in touch with the competitive community, check out the Tableturf Battle server, link in the description. I'll also post Yuvin's socials there if you want to learn more directly from him.